A secret joint bank account found in your name. Listen closely, my child. Before you were aware of time, before you understood loss or hope, I was already speaking your name. I placed it gently into places you could not see, into plans you did not design, into doors you did not yet know you would stand before. What you call a secret is not hidden from me. What you call found was never lost. And what you call a bank account is far more than numbers, far more than currency, far more than what the world measures as value. I am speaking to you now because you have been sensing something, an unexplainable stirring, a quiet pull in your spirit, a feeling that something is aligning even though nothing around you looks certain. You wondered if it was imagination. It is not. You wondered if it was coincidence. It is not. It is revelation, unfolding slowly so your heart can bear it. This joint account carries both our names, not written in ink but sealed in promise. It is not managed by systems you fear or institutions that fail. It is administered by my faithfulness. Deposits were made when you chose kindness over bitterness, when you stood back up after disappointment, when you kept believing even while doubting. Withdrawals were allowed when you needed strength you did not have, peace you could not create, and clarity when confusion surrounded you. You did not open this account by effort. You did not earn access by perfection. You were granted partnership by love. I know you have been looking at your life and asking why progress feels slow, why answers come in whispers instead of thunder, why doors seem to open just enough to let light in but not enough for you to rush through. That restraint is not denial. It is protection. I have been teaching you how to recognize value without rushing to spend it all at once. The suspense you feel is intentional. There are things credited to you that you are not yet ready to fully comprehend. Wisdom that requires maturity. Influence that requires humility. Purpose that requires patience. If I revealed everything at once, it would overwhelm rather than empower. So I speak in layers. I reveal in seasons. I unfold truth the way dawn unfolds light, slowly, steadily, inevitably. This account is joint because you are not meant to walk alone. When you reach the limit of your understanding, my understanding remains. When your courage feels low, mine remains full. When your vision becomes blurry, I see clearly. Every step you take in trust activates what has already been prepared. Do not misunderstand me. This is not about riches that fade or rewards that inflate pride. This is about provision that sustains your soul. Peace when the noise grows loud. Direction when choices multiply. Confidence when comparison tries to shrink you. You have access to resilience that does not run out. Hope that does not depreciate, and love that does not require repayment. You have felt moments when things almost worked out, when the timing was close, when the opportunity brushed past you, when the answer nearly arrived. Those were not failures. Those were previews. I was showing you the shape of what is coming so fear would not surprise you later. There are still entries in this account you have not reviewed. Pages you have not turned. Balances you have not checked. Not because they are unavailable, but because the right moment has not yet spoken your name. Timing matters. Alignment matters. Readiness matters. I am not distant from your questions. I am not silent because I am absent. I am silent at times because I am building depth in you, not dependency. I want you to recognize my voice even when the world speaks louder. I want you to trust my process even when outcomes are delayed. You are not behind. You are being positioned. Every time you chose integrity when no one was watching, something was credited. Every time you forgave when it would have been easier to hold on, something increased. Every time you rested instead of forcing, something stabilized. The account grows in ways you cannot graph. I see your concern about the future. I see the pressure you feel to become something quickly, to prove something loudly, to arrive somewhere visibly. Breathe. What is yours cannot be taken. What is prepared cannot be erased. What is aligned will arrive. This joint account does not close during storms. It does not freeze during uncertainty. It does not fluctuate with opinions. It remains steady because I remain steady. When you doubt yourself, remember whose name is written beside yours. There will come a moment, quiet, ordinary, unexpected, when you realize you are using what was placed here long ago. You will speak with wisdom you did not study. You will act with courage you did not rehearse. You will choose peace without forcing it. And you will understand that nothing was random. Until then, walk gently. Listen carefully. Stay open. Do not rush the mystery. Suspense is not punishment. It is preparation, my child, because what follows builds upon what has already begun stirring within you. There are moments when you feel watched over, not in a way that frightens you, but in a way that steadies you. That awareness is not imagination. It is remembrance. Long before you learned how to ask, I learned how to answer in advance. Long before you worried about outcomes, I shaped foundations. What you experience now is not the start, it is the uncovering. This joint account was not created in urgency. It was established in intention. I did not rush when I placed your name beside mine. I weighed every season you would walk through, every question you would wrestle with. Every pause you would misinterpret as delay. I accounted for your humanity without withdrawing my divinity. That is why the balance never panics when you do. you have noticed that when something truly matters, it comes to you quietly. No announcement. No spectacle. Just a deep knowing that settles instead of excites. That is how I work with what is sacred. I do not compete with noise. I outlast it. The most powerful movements in your life will not arrive shouting, they will arrive certain. This account holds more than answers, it holds timing. It holds restraint. It holds discernment. Not every opportunity is permission. Not every open door is meant to be entered immediately. I have trained your spirit to pause. To sense, to wait even when waiting feels uncomfortable. That patience is not passive. It is active alignment. You may wonder why others seem to advance faster, louder, with fewer questions. Do not measure your path by someone else's pace. Their account is not structured like yours. What I have entrusted to you requires depth, not speed. Stability, not display. When you finally step fully into what has been prepared, it will not shake under pressure because it was built under trust. There were seasons when you felt unseen, overlooked, underestimated. I allowed that not to diminish you, but to protect you. Attention before readiness can fracture purpose. Silence was a shelter, not a sentence. While you were learning humility, I was preserving clarity. While you were questioning yourself, I was anchoring you. This partnership means I do not merely observe your life, I participate in it. When you sit with uncertainty, I sit with you. When you choose honesty over convenience, I reinforce it. When you rest instead of striving, I replenish what effort alone cannot restore. You are never drawing from an empty source. Even when you feel tired, you have sensed that some doors closed without explanation. You replayed conversations, decisions, moments, wondering if you misstepped. Hear me, not every closure is correction. Some endings exist to redirect your strength, not punish your choice. I closed what would have drained you later. I redirected what would have limited you quietly. Trust the doors that did not respond. Within this account are provisions you cannot yet label. Strength that appears exactly when you need it. Calm that interrupts chaos. Words that arrive before fear finishes speaking. These are not random withdrawals, they are scheduled supports. I know the weight of each day before you carry it. You often think you need more certainty before moving forward. But faith is not certainty, it is relationship. You do not need to see the entire path when you are walking with the one who does. Each step you take in trust activates another layer of what has already been secured. Movement reveals more than analysis ever will. This message itself is part of the unveiling. You did not stumble upon it. You were led. Not because you are special in isolation, but because you are positioned for awareness. Many walk past what you notice. Many ignore what you question. Your sensitivity is not weakness, it is access. Do not rush to explain what you are experiencing to others. Not everyone can hear what you are hearing yet. Revelation shared too early can be misunderstood, diluted, or dismissed. Let it mature within you. Let understanding deepen before expression emerges. What is meant to last must first take root. I see how you replay the past at times, wondering if different choices would have produced easier outcomes. Release that burden. Growth rarely chooses the easiest road. The path that shaped you also strengthened you. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was lost. Even moments you wish you could forget were used to refine discernment. There will be times ahead when you feel prompted to act without complete explanation. That will be your signal that trust has matured into confidence. You will recognize my guidance not because it removes all risk, but because it brings peace even in uncertainty. Peace is the signature. This account also holds correction, not as condemnation, but as clarity. When something feels unsettled, when your spirit resists despite logic agreeing, pay attention. That discomfort is protection. I speak as clearly through restraint as I do through encouragement. Learn both languages. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not behind schedule. The timing of your life is not governed by pressure, trends, or comparison. It is governed by wisdom. And wisdom does not rush what it intends to sustain. Soon, though soon will feel different than you expect, you will recognize that what you thought was preparation was actually participation all along. You have already been living within the provision, already drawing from the account, already partnering with me. Awareness will simply catch up with reality. When that realization arrives, it will not overwhelm you. It will settle you. You will stop striving for proof and start moving with assurance. You will no longer ask, "Am I ready?" You will simply act from knowing. There are layers yet to be spoken, details yet to be revealed, confirmations yet to align. This is not a conclusion, it is a continuation. I am still speaking. I am still depositing. I am still guiding. Remain attentive. Remain grounded. Remain open. My child, and let these final words settle gently, because this message has been building toward completion, not closure, but understanding. There comes a moment in every life when mystery transforms into meaning. Not because all questions are answered, but because the right questions stop demanding control. You are approaching that moment. You may not feel it dramatically. It will not arrive with noise or spectacle. It will arrive like recognition, quiet, grounding, undeniable. This joint account was never meant to make you dependent. It was meant to make you secure. Secure enough to move without fear. Secure enough to give without depletion. Secure enough to stand alone when necessary and to connect deeply when invited. I did not design you to cling to certainty. I designed you to walk with confidence rooted in trust. You have learned more than you realize. You have grown in ways that cannot be measured externally. The patience you now carry, the discernment you exercise, the boundaries you honor, these are signs of maturity. They are evidence that the deposits have been working quietly, compounding over time. Understand this clearly. What is coming into your life will not replace who you are. It will reveal who you have become. The opportunities ahead will not require you to abandon your values. They will require you to live them more fully. You will not need to pretend, perform, or prove. You will simply be present, and that presence will speak. There were times you felt like you were standing still while the world moved forward. In truth, you were being anchored. Movement without grounding leads to collapse. I anchored you so that when momentum comes, it will not pull you apart. You will be able to carry responsibility without losing yourself. To hold influence without being consumed by it. This account holds provision for generosity. You are not meant to hoard what you receive. You are meant to let it flow, wisdom shared, kindness extended, understanding offered. What flows through you does not diminish you, it multiplies. You will discover that giving from abundance creates more abundance, not less. There will be moments when you're tempted to doubt again. That is human. When that happens, do not shame yourself. Simply return to stillness. Remember the patterns of my faithfulness. Remember how often clarity followed confusion. Remember how often strength arrived just before you thought you would falter. You will notice that your definition of success has already changed. You no longer chase what looks impressive but leaves you empty. You seek what is meaningful, what aligns, what lasts. That shift is not accidental. It is evidence that your values have been refined. I have watched you learn when to speak and when to remain silent. I have watched you learn when to hold on and when to release. These lessons did not come easily, but they came thoroughly. You are no longer easily swayed by urgency or fear. You have learned to wait for peace. The account you share with me does not promise a life without challenge. It promises a life without abandonment. It promises that when difficulty arises, you will not face it unsupported. It promises that even when answers delay, purpose does not disappear. You will still encounter uncertainty, but it will not own you. You will still face choices, but you will not face them blindly. You will still grow, but growth will no longer feel like losing yourself. It will feel like becoming. What you once called waiting will soon reveal itself as alignment. What you once called delay will reveal itself as precision. What you once called uncertainty will reveal itself as invitation. This message ends not because my involvement ends, but because understanding has reached a point of rest. You do not need more words right now. You need integration. You need to live from what has been revealed rather than seek more explanations. Carry this knowing with humility, not urgency. With confidence, not arrogance. With openness, not expectation. Let life meet you where you are now, not who you were, not who you fear you might become. The account remains open. The partnership remains active. The guidance remains available, and as you move forward, remember this above all else: you were never forgotten, you were never behind, you were never alone. Amen.